now here we have to learn the characteristics of metamorphic rock as well as the process of origin of metamorphic rock. So now when you look at metamorphic rocks, the word metamorphic is derived from the word metamorphose, and what is the meaning of the metamorphose is the change of forms. The change of forms. So basically what happened here, the rocks change their form. So metamorphic rocks are formed due to the changing of the form and the structure or the molecular arrangement of the pre-existing rocks. Now the question arises, okay, if any pre-existing rocks is changing their form, then what was the reason of that change? Okay. So what was the reason of the change? We have to identify. What are the pre-existing rocks? Already we had learned that igneous rocks present in the nature, sedimentary rocks are also present. And when you look at this igneous and sedimentary rocks, through these rocks, when the forms change, the metamorphic rocks exists. Okay. So now the question is, as I have said, why the changes takes place. We have to find out. So this word metamorphic is derived from the word metamorphose, means the change of form. Now we have to understand here that why the changes takes place. And when you look at over the crustal surface, when you look at the various landforms develop as a result of some processes which is occurring beneath the crust, what we called, or beneath the lithosphere, what we called the endogenetic process. Okay. Due to the lithosphere movement or the earth movement, sometimes the compression force arises. When the lithosphere plates or the pieces of lithosphere, okay, moves towards each other, what happens? As a result of which compression takes place. And due to compression, due to the pressure which creates, what happened? The rocks of the crust molded, modified and changed their form, and rearrangement of the molecule takes place, recrystallization takes place, and as a result of which metamorphic rocks forms. So now when you look at what I have written here, the mountain building or orogenic processes. Further in detail I will tell you what are the orogenic processes, mountain building or orogenic processes. Basically when we talk about the mountain building, then we talk about the formation of the fold mountains. Basically when we use the word mountain building, then we basically talk about the formation of fold mountains. But when we use the word orogenesis, orogenesis means also the mountain building, but it is an umbrella term, it is a bigger term. And when we use this term, it means that not only the formation of fold mountain, but the other mountains are there. When we cover the chapters mountain building, I will also explain that some mountains are block mountains also. Okay. and the block mountains are results of basically the tensional force. So when you look at what happened if this is the planet Earth and it is the part of lithosphere, what happened, as I have said, lithosphere is not continuous, it is broken in pieces. Further, in a plate tectonics concept I will explain, these are known as plate. So the pieces of lithosphere is known as plate according to the plate tectonics theory. Now what happened within this lithosphere, within the Earth, when you look at the energy now what happened, the magma moves in a conveyor belt fashion. The magma moves in a conveyor belt fashion when you look at, and like that the magma moves, as a result of which what happened here, what you find that the energy is moving in a here the arm of energy is moving in similar direction, opposite, not in opposite direction but in a same direction, as a result of which what happened, compression takes place. So what happened if, when you look at, due to the compression, what happens sometimes, the folding of rocks takes place. I can show here that, say for example, if you look at now if this is the lithosphere, and here the magma which moves like that, due to movement of magma, that is the energy beneath this lithosphere, what happened, as a result of which a compression forces arises. Now when two lithospheric plates move towards each other, the heavier one, if say this is the heavier plate, this is the lighter one, so the heavier one subducted beneath the lighter one, it started moving inside the earth. As a result of this subduction, one plate is started moving beneath the other. As a result of subduction, the materials which is accumulated here started folding, and as a result of folding of this material, what happened, the mountains formations takes place, mountain building. So why the mountain building takes place according to this concept, if I am talking about the compression, because it led to the compression here. Compressional forces active here, and due to these forces what happened, folding of the rocks folded. So due to compression, a intense pressure applied over the rocks. Say for example, if here the material is like that, say for example, I am just taking the picture from here to here. When you look at, say from here to here, when you look at now, if say for example it is sedimentary rocks, okay, over the crest, and when the compression forces act over this, the compression forces act over these sedimentary rocks. So what I have said, that due to which the folding of the rocks takes place, the folding of the rocks takes place. This is known as folding, okay, and means anticline and synclines forms. Anticlines and synclines appear. The crest and trough like features appear in the rocks, and we called this structure as a mountain. So what I have said, that why the orogenesis or the mountain building takes place, especially the fold mountain, due to compressional forces. And from where this compressional force is generated, the magma which is flowing within the earth crust below the lithosphere, the magma is moving in a conveyor belt fashion, okay, as a result of which when the magma, that is energy, when move in a similar direction, what it led to? It led to the pressure over the rocks, lithospheric rocks, as a result of which the lithospheric rocks, what happened? They folded. As a result of this folding, what happened? This is known as orogenetic processes, and as a result of which orogenesis takes place. Orogenesis means mountain building takes place, okay. Show the mountain building. Orogenesis, as I have said, I will explain in detail, is a umbrella term, is a bigger terms. When we use the word orogenesis, what we mean, that it explains not only the formation of fold mountain but also the block mountain. But when we use the word mountain building, it is specifically explain the formation of fold mountain, okay. So when you look at this mountain, so what I have said, that how the metamorphic rocks created when intense pressure applied over these rocks, then what happened? The molecules of these rocks, the crystal of these rocks, again arranged, rearrangement of the crystals takes place, rearrangement of the molecule takes place. Why? Due to intense pressure and the underlying temperature. So how the sedimentary rocks converted into the metamorphic rocks? When over the sedimentary rocks excessive pressure and temperature apply, then what happened? As a result of which molecular rearrangement takes place, recrystallization takes place. We called metamorphosis, change of form. And as a result of change of form or metamorphosis, which rocks is formed? Metamorphic rock. So when the temperature and intense temperature and pressure applied over the igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks or other metamorphic rocks, what happened? As a result of which molecular rearrangement, recrystallization takes place and metamorphic rocks forms. Okay, so I had explained how the metamorphic rocks forms. So as a result of the intense pressure, and temperature, what happened? The pre-existing sedimentary rocks change into the metamorphic. I am just giving an example. Igneous rocks also change into the metamorphic rocks. Okay, just I am giving an example how a rock is converted into another form. Okay, so I had given you the example, the processes through which one rock is converted, means how the metamorphic rocks form. And what do you mean by metamorphic? Metamorphic term is originated from the word metamorphose, and metamorphose means change of form. Okay, why the change of form takes place? Due to rearrangement of the molecule of rocks. And why the rearrangement of the molecules takes place? Due to intense pressure or the heating or temperatures. Okay, so further I will explain it in detail. So let's see, first to make this diagram for your understanding, basic understanding, and then I will explain in detail. Okay, so now so what I have written here clearly that the mountain building or orogenic processes of the earth crust involve what? Tremendous high pressure and temperatures, and these extreme conditions alter the igneous and sedimentary rocks. Alter means change, and transforming the rocks so completely in texture and structure that we have reclassified it as a metamorphic rocks. तो मैंने यहाँ क्लियरली मेंशन किया कि जब अगर आप देखेंगे जहाँ पे माउंटेन बिल्डिंग प्रोसेसेस रन हो रहा है, जहाँ ओरोजेनिक प्रोसेसेस एक्टिव हैं, जहाँ कॉम्प्रेशन फोर्सेस एक्टिव है, वहाँ देखोगे क्या हो रहा है, वहाँ पर रीअरेंजमेंट ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स हो रहा है. क्यों हो रहा है? ड्यू टू इंटेंस प्रेशर एंड द अंडरलाइंग टेम्परेचर. और उसके कारण क्या हो रहा है? ऑल्टरेशन. ऑल्टर किस में? इग्नियस और सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स के अंदर. वो कंप्लीट उनका टेक्सचर, ठीक है, द ग्रेन साइज एंड द टेक्सचर और स्ट्रक्चर, जो मॉलिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर है वो चेंज हो रहा है. और उसके कारण क्या बन रहे हैं? वो इग्नियस और सेडिमेंट्री रॉक कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं, मेटामॉर्फोज हो रहे हैं, उनका चेंज हो रहा है. किस में? मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक्स में. ओके, सो हाउ द मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक्स forms or originated, I had explained. Now I had given you a basic idea how you can show through the diagrams. Okay, later I will explain in detail. So what I have written here, in many cases the minerals components of the parent rock means the igneous or sedimentaries from which the metamorphic rocks created are known as the parent rocks. Okay, are changed into different mineral varieties, and in some cases the original minerals may recrystallize. मैं क्या बता रहा हूँ यहाँ पर? मिनरल कॉम्पोजिशन भी कई बार चेंज हो जाते हैं. सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स अगर मेटामॉर्फिक में कन्वर्ट हो रहे तो क्यों कन्वर्ट होगा? कई बार रीमेल्टिंग के कारण, कई बार इंटेंस प्रेशर के कारण. तो वहाँ कई बार आप देखोगे इन मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक्स देयर इज़ अ चेंज इन द मिनरल कॉम्पोजिशन. नॉर्मली तो सेम रहना चाहिए, जो रॉक है वही मॉडिफाई हो गया, तो जो इसमें मिनरल है वही अगला जो मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक बने. बट कई बार ऐसा मिनरल कॉम्पोजिशन चेंज होता है. क्यों? मैं बताऊंगा आगे. इफेक्ट जैसे मैग्मा है, क्रस्ट के अंदर अगर आया, क्रस्ट के रॉक्स को मेल्ट किया, मेल्टिंग के बाद रॉक्स फिर से सॉलिडिफाई हुए, तो उसमें मिनरल कॉम्पोजिशन चेंज हो जाते हैं. तो मैंने इसलिए आप यहाँ मेंशन किया कि कई बार ऐसा होगा इन मेनी केसेस कि मिनरल कंपोनेंट्स जो पेरेंट्स रॉक्स का था वो मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक्स में चेंज हो जाता है, और कई बार ओरिजिनल मिनरल्स ही मेटामॉर्फिक रॉक्स में रहते हैं, तो दोनों कंडीशंस हो सकते हैं. वाई आई हैव मेंशन दिस? बिकॉज इट मे बी आस्क्ड इन प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन. Okay, both the conditions may be there, not strictly a single condition, and that's why this is very important for your pre. Okay, now when you look at the feature of metamorphic rock, what I have said that earlier, when I was discussing igneous rocks, largely igneous rocks are very hard rock and impermeable in nature. Okay, largely. But when you look at sedimentary rocks, largely the sedimentary rocks are softer rocks. Okay, the few are the hard one, but largely the sedimentary rocks are the softer rocks. And what are the other feature of the sedimentary rocks? That what we find here, the joints, the cracks, the faults. Okay, such kind of feature is present in sedimentary rocks. When you look at the metamorphic rocks are also resistant, more resistant to the weathering. Okay, weathering इतना easy नहीं है जितना sedimentary rocks का. Igneous rocks are also resistant to weathering because they are very hard in structure. Like that metamorphic, when you look at, if the sedimentary rocks converted into metamorphic rock, then the metamorphic rock become more resistant than their parent sedimentary rocks. Try to understand. So when you look at the characteristics feature of the metamorphic rocks, so what I have written here, you can learn that. Again, this is important for you from your pre point of view. In mains you have to write the features in detail, but in pre they pick the statement and they may ask the question. So they are more resistant rock. So when you compare with the sedimentary rocks, and if it converted, if any sedimentary rocks is converted now into the metamorphic rocks, then what you find that become more resistant, okay, to the weathering than their parent rock. Why? Because the heat and the pressure wield their mineral grains. हीट और प्रेशर के कारण जो मिनरल हैं वो क्या होते हैं? वेल्ड, सीमेंटेड, स्टिक कर जाता है, compress, compacted, they come closer. So what happened? The metamorphic rocks become more harder, more resistant to the weathering. Is it clear now? What happened when the pressure apply, when the temperature is more, what happened? Rearrangement of the molecules comes close, and when the molecule comes close, it become more harder. Okay, so metamorphic rocks, here what I have written, welded, weld, मिनरल ग्रेन्स इसके वेल्ड हो जाते हैं, चिपक जाते हैं एक दूसरे से, और उसके कारण क्या होता है? ये ज़्यादा हार्ड हो जाता है. सो आई हैड ऑलवेज गिवन यू द कॉज एंड इफेक्ट. ओके, सो यू कैन बेटर अंडरस्टैंड and build a concept. Okay, so I had given here the example when the, for example, shell is a sedimentary rock. Okay, it's a sedimentary rock. From the shell, when you put the in temperature and pressure over this rock, what I have written here, extreme heat and pressure transform the shell, this rock, into schist. Schist is a metamorphic rock. It is a metamorphic rock. How these rocks are formed? These rocks are formed by their parental rocks. What are the parental rocks here? Shell. This shell converted into the schist when the intense temperature and pressure applied. what happened? The molecular rearrangement, their minerals welded. Okay, that this rock is hard. Okay, now another example I had mentioned of the metamorphic rock, sandstone. Again, sandstone, when you look at, I had given an example. Sandstone is again a sedimentary rock. These sedimentary rocks also converted into quartzite. It is a metamorphic rock. Quartzite. Why? Because of intense temperature and pressure applied over this. Now limestone, again sedimentary rock. Limestone converted into marble. Marble is a metamorphic rock. So if you apply pressure and heat, okay, so in nature, when the pressure and heat applied over limestone, limestone converted into marble. Marble is a metamorphic rock. Limestone is a sedimentary rock. Now, I had given here the example of igneous rocks also. Igneous rocks like granite. Granite is an igneous rock. I can give an example. Granite converted into gneiss. Gneiss is a sedimentary rock. So it is igneous. It converted when the granite is what? Plutonic rock. मैंने डिस्कस किया था इन igneous. ये क्रस्ट के अंदर ही जब मैग्मा, विस्कस मैग्मा सॉलिडिफाई हो जाते हैं तो ग्रेनाइट बनते हैं. ओके, जिसे हम प्लूटोनिक कहते हैं, उसे हम इंट्रूसिव लैंडफॉर्म भी कहते हैं, इंट्रूसिव इग्नियस रॉक्स भी कहते हैं. सो ग्रेनाइट इंट्रूसिव रॉक है, प्लूटोनिक है. कैसे बनता है? विस्कस मैग्मा व्हेन स्टार्टेड सॉलिडिफाइंग विद इन द क्रस्ट, और जब क्रस्ट ऊपर से इरोड हो जाता है तो वो हमें सरफेस पे दिखते हैं ग्रेनाइट्स. अब अगर ग्रेनाइट्स रॉक्स है और फिर से अंदर अंडरलाइंग मैग्मा अगर ग्रेनाइट रॉक्स को मेल्ट कर दे, क्योंकि मैग्मा का फ्लो अंदर में है, एंड व्हेन द मैग्मा स्टार्टेड राइजिंग इन द क्रस्ट, और क्रस्ट में वहाँ ग्रेनाइटिक रॉक्स है, ठीक है. से फॉर एग्जांपल आई कैन गिव यू एन एग्जांपल हियर व्हाट आई वुड लाइक टू सजेस्ट यू पीपल. Say for example, if this is the crust, okay, now in the crust, say for example, if this is the, you know, sorry, if this is the granite, what I would like to suggest you people that once if the magma moves upward from the magma chamber, and when this magma come in contact with this granitic rocks, again this granite melt. Okay, when the magma come in contact with this rock, then what happened? Melting takes place. And when then melting takes place, melting's converted this solid into fluid. रॉक फ्लूइड फॉर्म में होगा, मैग्मा में कन्वर्ट करेगा, फिर रीअरेंजमेंट होगा मॉलिक्यूल का. पहले सॉलिड था ग्रेनाइट, ये फ्लूइड में कन्वर्ट हो गया. क्यों? क्योंकि अंडरलाइंग मैग्मा ने यहाँ के रॉक्स को मेल्ट कर दिया. फिर जब वो मेल्टेड रॉक्स फिर से जब सॉलिड होंगे, कूलिंग होगी उसकी, सॉलिडिफिकेशन होगा. रीअरेंजमेंट होगा, और एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ विच ये ग्रेनाइट जो रॉक है वो निश में कन्वर्ट करता है. So that granite which is a igneous rocks may convert into metamorphic. Okay, it may convert into metamorphic rock. So what again, recrystallization means another arrangement, molecular arrangement. ठीक है, यहाँ जो मॉलिक्यूल का अरेंजमेंट है वो ऑल्टर हो गया क्योंकि वो मेल्ट हो गया, मेल्ट कर कर वो फ्लूइड बना, फ्लूइड में मॉलिक्यूल फ्री हो गए. वो जब मॉलिक्यूल फ्री हो गए यानी मॉलिक्यूल्स नाउ सॉलिड में मॉलिक्यूल्स कॉम्पैक्टली अरेंज होते हैं. हाँ, FLUID. फिर वो फ्लूइड्स में क्या हो गए, फ्री हो गए, मॉलिकुलर डिस्टेंस इंक्रीज कर गया, रीअरेंजमेंट हुआ, फिर सॉलिडिफिकेशन प्रोसेस में रिक्रिस्टलाइजेशन हुआ और नए रॉक्स बन गए. मैंने कहा क्या कन्वर्ट हो गया, इट्स कन्वर्टेड इनटू द निश. ओके, सो बेसिकली दिस इज द कंडीशंस. ओके, कि हाउ दिस rock forms. Okay, metamorphic. Try to understand. Now when you look at granite, igneous rocks also converted into the metamorphic rocks. So I had given you an example. Now I have used the word metamorphism or metamorphosis. Metamorphosis means what? The change. Now when you look at, there are various agents due to which the change in the form of the rocks takes place. That factor are known as the agent of metamorphism. Okay, so let's understand what are the agent of metamorphism. When you look at, as I have said, the first agent, when you look at the agent or the factors of metamorphism, the heat is one factor. Due to heating, what happened? The melting of the rocks takes place and rearrangement and recrystallizations of rocks takes place, as a result of which what happened? The composition change, sometimes the mineral compositions as well as molecular arrangement, which leads to the different structure, the different texture, and metamorphic rocks appear. So heat is one agent. Another is compression. Why this compression takes place, I had explained. Due to internal energy which creates within the crust or within the earth below the lithosphere. Okay, compression. Another is solution. Okay, solution. Now when you look at here, what happened? Chemically active hot gases and water when passes through the rocks, country rocks, the parental rocks, then chemical composition again change. Okay, so what I have said that there are three different agents of metamorphism. Now heat, compression, solution. What I have said here, what happened as a result of heating? The mineral composition entirely changed due to intense heat, but rocks are melted, seldom melted, and the required heat for the metamorphism is available during the volcanicity, when the hot and the molten magma ascend through the crustal rocks. So volcanicity discuss किया है मैंने. Volcanicity में क्या होता है? The formation of magma, and then when the upward movement of the magma takes place, and when the upward movement of the magma takes place, the magma is a hot molten rock. When these hot molten rocks come in contact with the crustal rocks melted, and when the crustal rocks melted, rearrangement of the molecule takes place, recrystallization takes place, as a result of which what happened? As a result of which the metamorphic rocks takes place as a result of the heating. Now what I have said, compression, again I have explained the resultant pressure from the compressive forces, consequent folding and changes from change in the form and the composition takes place, and as a result of which metamorphic rocks or the metamorphism takes place, means change in the form takes place, and where we find this force are active, where the mountain building takes place. जहाँ माउंटेन बिल्डिंग्स हो रहे हैं वहाँ ये फोर्सेस ये जो कॉम्प्रेशनल फोर्सेस हैं ये ज़्यादा एक्टिव हैं, अभी एक्सप्लेन किया था. सॉल्यूशन, let's understand. Okay, what I have written here, chemically active hot gases and water. Now passes through the rocks. Now when you look at the magma, magma is a hot fluid. Okay, so now when you look at the chemical composition of the rocks through which it passes, it led to what I have written here, the magmatic water, and the water confined in the beds of the sedimentary rocks also help in introducing the changes in the rocks. इससे भी changes आते हैं rocks में. So there are three different agents. One is the heat, another is compression, and next is the solution. Okay, I have shared with you people the PDF where everything is written. Try to understand. So these are the agents through which the metamorphism means what? Change in the form takes place. As a result of that change in the form, metamorphic rocks forms. So these are the agent of metamorphism. It may be a potential short notes in your mains. Paper 1 section A. Okay, it is a potential short notes. The agent of metamorphism or the factors which affect metamorphism. Okay, now